Freddie Mac has issued their April outlook for real estate with some optimistic predictions for the remainder of 2016. We'll have the details up next. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching your real estate news. I'm your host, Stacey Hansen. Let's take a look at your headlines. Freddie Mac economists predict good things for the rest of the year in real estate. According to their April outlook, housing will maintain its momentum in 2016 and be an economic engine of growth. Realtor Mag's report expanded on those predictions, stating that the labor market is expected to stay strong. Freddie Mac sees the unemployment rate dropping below 5% for 2016 and 2017. Loan originations are estimated to rise by $50 billion in 2016 to reach a total of $1.7 billion. This reflects a refinancing boom fueled by low mortgage rates. In fact, those low rates are expected to stick around longer. Freddie Mac expects rates to average 4% this year. Home prices will also rise by 4.8% in 2016 and by another 3.5% next year, they say. Those rising home prices would in turn lead to more equity gains for homeowners. It's a time of year when many are thinking about their summer vacations. But how can you keep your home safe from thieves while you are away? Money Magazine suggests installing a heavy-duty lock strike plate on your door and sash pins to double-hung windows to make them more secure. Also make your home look lived in by suspending your mail service and having someone on retainer to mow your lawn. There are also some new devices like Fake TV, which mimics the flickering light of a TV, and plug-in devices that allow you to turn lights on and off remotely with your cell phone. You'll also want to keep your plans quiet by packing your car in the garage or out of sight. And of course, not sharing your travel plans online with your 500 closest friends on social media. And lastly, Money Magazine also suggests that you take caution with door-to-door solicitors. They say a common way to scope out what you have in your home is to pose as a charity asking for donations. If you do choose to open the door, don't let them see inside. Most of us are familiar with the hazards of lead-based paint, asbestos, and mold in the home. But what about the hidden lesser-known hazards that may be lurking in your home? MarketWatch reports on potential hazards to look out for. They said that while most homes have ionization smoke detectors, they have been shown to be less able to detect slow-burning or smoldering fires. MarketWatch suggests investing in photoelectric alarms in bedrooms and hallways because they activate much more quickly and have fewer false alarms. The site also cautions against stoves and TVs that can tip over onto small children. They recommend installing anti-tip brackets onto lightweight steel stoves and mounting flat-screen TVs onto walls so they can't be pulled down. Stick around, there's more coming up right after this. And welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Kirsten Goggin with Century 21. Welcome back, Kirsten. It's great to see you again.
Thanks, Stace.
And you've got some exciting news for us. First, you've got a new listing.
Yes, actually it's not even on the MLS yet. It will be Saturday the 14th, and I'm waiting on pictures that my photographer is getting out there on Friday. So it will be up and available for showings on Saturday the 14th with an open house the 15th from 2 to 4. It is a 3-bedroom condo in Middleton. It's a great location, Patty Lane right off of Donna Drive. And then it has just shy of 1,300 square feet. End unit, so lots of natural sunlight. It's got a big, beautiful maintenance-free deck off the side. It's got beautiful hardwoods, 3 bedrooms up, 2-car garage, and very low condo fees of $140 a month. Also has a wood-burning fireplace, and the seller just bought a ton of firewood, so that's included with the sale as well.
What more can you ask for? And I love those end units on condos too, because you kind of get the feeling of having your own house.
Makes all the difference. So
and it's quiet,
less
light.
Shared wall with others, and then also again you're going to have a lot more windows, so a lot more natural light.
And it's nice in the condos too. You're not having to mow your own lawn. And Middleton's a wonderful community too.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's a really kid-friendly neighborhood. There's a lot of kids in a park real close by, so it's a really great location.
That'd be a great one for a family or really anyone. Now you also have people that are ready to go. They're all dressed up, nowhere to go. They're ready to buy.
Yes.
But they cannot find what they're looking for on the market?
Yes, so homeowners, if you have, I've got a few different areas and locations here, but I've got some buyers that are looking for lakefront property on Lake Mendota. They want to be on the north side of the lake, either Waunakee or Middleton School District, and price really isn't an option for the right house, or they could, buy on the lower end and eventually remodel it or bulldoze and build. Or if it's a higher price point, they can certainly afford that as well. So if you are interested in selling and you are on Lake Mendota, please get a hold of me. You can reach me at kj@kjsellsmadison.com or my phone number, which should be scrolling below, 608-628-7572. I've also got buyers looking for East Madison or Sun Prairie. 2 bedrooms is fine, 1-car garage or more. They would prefer 3 bedrooms, but they're looking up to $215,000. So if you are thinking of selling, please get a hold of me so I can get my buyers through. We've exhausted everything that's currently available, and nothing floats their boat. They've wrote on a couple and didn't quite come together for a few different reasons, but it's a crazy hot seller's market out there.
That's a wonderful news. So if you've been on the fence and your property fits some of those descriptions, this might be the easiest route for you to go. Well, thanks so much. Always a pleasure to see you, Kirsten.
Thank you. Or if you're just wanting to list your house and it doesn't match what I'm looking for, there are buyers out there. So I will get it marketed and get it sold for you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Kirsten.
Thanks.
And welcome back. With me now is Josh Slavic with Keller Williams. Welcome back, Josh. Thanks for coming today. So what's happening in real estate this month?
Hey, thanks for having me on, Stacy. Things have been definitely busy. We actually celebrated having a record month as a team. We finished #1 in our office out of almost 80 agents. So very grateful for that. I definitely couldn't have done it without my amazing team, though, and their dedication to helping our clients.
Congratulations on a great month. So what else is going on for you?
Hey, thanks for asking. So first quarter sales are up. We're about 1.5% ahead of where we were last year, which last year was the second best year on record. Our sale prices are up about 4.5% for Dane County. We're really back to pre-recession levels for both sales and prices. But the big news is that active listings that are currently available is down 30%. From this time last year with only 2 months of inventory, which means it's really, there's big competition for the best homes and many going for the asking price or possibly even more.
Wow, good news for home sellers then, right?
Yeah, definitely great news for home sellers. Actually, one thing we typically see during a seller's market is that more potential sellers might be considering trying to sell it on their own without using a real estate agent, going the for sale by owner route, which is interesting from my perspective as an agent, right? Because last year we helped 48 people with their move. Compare that to someone who hasn't sold a home in 10 or 20 years. It leads to a number of problems. Some I see usually are that they price too high or maybe too low. Maybe they're not sure how to handle multiple offers. Plus there's the added legal risk. It's kind of like someone, if they were going to try to put together their own television program and, using their own equipment and had no experience. I mean, I don't know. How good do you think they'll be?
Yeah, exactly. So now if you lived in your house a while waiting for the market to kind of come back after the recession, it sounds like we're there, right?
Yeah, we're definitely there. I'd say, if you've been in your home at least 4 or 5 years, your home may be worth way more than you think. We have a constant pulse on the market and we can discuss current home values with you. Actually, we have very active buyers looking right now in Monona, East Madison, West Madison, Sun Prairie, Fitchburg, especially under $300,000.
Any other areas where you're seeing kind of this increase in demand or maybe some opportunities for people out there?
Yeah, so our office is in Monona and we're kind of sandwiched right between Lake Monona and Lake Waubesa, and so we're kind of seeing a lot of different people coming out on the lakefront looking at waterfront homes, or other people might be considering building their new dream home. So seeing some more people looking at new construction. We actually put together a comprehensive guide for people that might be considering building new construction where we compare the various builders in the area. So those are some of the other opportunities I'm seeing.
Lots of exciting opportunities out there. Well, thanks so much for stopping by again. And welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Becky Anderson with Tresta on the Water. Welcome back, Becky. Always great to see you.
Thanks, Stacy. I just love coming here.
It's so wonderful to see you. Now, I hear, first things first, you have some retail space available, is that right?
Yes, we do. We have 4 total besides the restaurant. 2 are rented, one to a yoga gal. The other one is a fitness trainer, and she's bringing in a partner, so there'll be 2 of them there. But we still have 2 that are vacant, and we really need some people in there to take care of our tenants and the public. My aspiration would be to have a spa, barbershop / hair salon, upstyle, have a glass of champagne while you get your hair done. And I think the company can even work out some kind of a deal for that.
That would be awesome. Can you imagine how convenient that would be? You just walk downstairs, get your hair done, maybe have a glass of champagne while you do so. That would be wonderful. And your occupancy level has been doing pretty well too. You're really filling up, aren't you?
It's great. We're over 70%.
Wow, that is great, but you're always looking for more if anyone's
Well, we need
interested.
100. We need 100.
Exactly. And what about our furry friends? You allow pets as well.
Yes, the furry friends are quite the deal. We have dogs. They've got long hair, short hair, little legs, big heads, little heads, all colors. And they use the pet spa because the river is right there, so there's some of these dogs that just jump right in. Then off to the spa.
So tell our viewers a little bit more about this pet spa, because it's really cool.
It's on the first floor, which is different than other communities which have pet spas, but they put them in their garage or in their underground parking, and nobody wants to go down there in the cold and the dark and all that and wash their dog up. Ours is right by the elevator, so they can come directly in from outside. They can even shut them in there, shut the door so they don't escape, and then they can scrub them up and blow dry them.
It's a wonderful amenity to have. Now, your outside amenities have got to be heating up too as the weather warms up.
Summer's coming, and we have the courtyard is open with the fire pit. We've got 2 huge gas grills out there. The people are out there all the time. Then the Waypoint's got their outside seating area. The boats can dock at the pier. We have games for outside. We have the rooftop patio, which I was up there the other day, and there was like 5 or 6 people up there laying in the sun, working on reading, working on their laptop. And Rutabaga is open next door so you can rent a paddleboard or a canoe or a kayak or just jump in the water.
And that's wonderful. It's resort-like living, except you live there. Well, thanks so much for stopping by, Becky.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Chris Thomas. He's the owner of Right on Target Real Estate. Welcome, Chris. So I want to ask you, does it cost extra money to have an agent represent you as a buyer's agent when you're doing a transaction?
No, actually it doesn't. I'm glad you asked that. I think a lot of people think that there's extra costs involved when you involve other agents, but actually most agents that are, including myself, that do this, we actually do not charge the buyer anything. We actually get paid by the seller. So what can happen in a transaction is you can actually have somebody representing you rather than somebody that's representing the seller.
So why might it be a good idea to maybe have you represent them?
Well, certainly there's a lot that goes into the typical real estate transaction, and when you're buying a home, I think you want to have somebody that's looking out for your best interests. Like I had said earlier, the seller actually has the listing agent, and so they're truly going to be looking out for the seller's best interests. So you really ought to have somebody that's looking out for your best interests in the transaction as well.
So talking about kind of looking out for your best interests, what can happen if you don't have somebody doing that for you?
Well, certainly, I don't think you can always count on getting the best deal because they're going to try to get the most money they can for their client. So that's one thing. And in this market, the market's really strong, and sometimes there's multiple offers that come in. So you have to be able to navigate through that and give your buyer good, sound advice so that they actually make a strong offer and they don't lose out on a property over some little technical things.
Definitely good advice. So what else is going on with you?
Well, it's certainly really busy this time of the year, and we want to let people know, these buyers out there that are calling off signs and maybe finding out that a lot of the houses they're looking at are already sold, that we can also set up these personalized MLS searches for people, and they can actually call us and we can set this up for free, and it allows them to then find out the best houses that are on the market. The moment they come on the market, it emails them all the information so they don't miss out on these good deals.
Wow, that's great to just kind of get everything emailed to you. It's so convenient.
Yeah, it actually saves you time and money, because nobody wants to drive around and waste time looking at houses that already have offers on them.
Exactly. That can be so frustrating for people. So it's nice to know that you've got everything right there at your fingertips. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. It was wonderful to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And welcome back to the Real Estate News. My next guest is the Home Depot's home improvement expert, Dave White. He's here today to give us some tips on making that spring yard work as easy as possible. Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Now, let's talk first about mowers. There's so many choices out there. How do you know which one to pick?
So it can be kind of intimidating. The first thing you need to do is really do a little survey of your yard, so you make sure you get the right mower for you and your needs. So take a look at the size of your yard. How much grass do you have to cut? Are there a lot of hills and valleys to go up and down? Do you have a lot of trees and shrubs to mow around? And when you get that kind of information, now you can start to do a little research. So for example, if you have a really large yard, you've got a lot of obstacles to mow around, I would suggest something like this zero turn from Cub Cadet. It's called a zero turn because it's a zero degree turning radius. It turns on a dime, and you see a lot of pros using this type because it can mow fast. This is a 46-inch deck, so it can cut a lot of grass in a short amount of time, and it's Bluetooth enabled, so you can download an app to your smartphone. You can check in with your mower to get service updates and those types of things. It's actually a smart mower. You can also move, if that's a little intimidating for you, you can move to a more of a traditional riding mower, or even for smaller yards, just go with a traditional walk-behind mower. Although this is really a non-traditional walk-behind mower because it's battery powered. It's a 56-volt battery that powers this mower. It's a 21-inch deck, and all you have to do is push a button, and you're good to go. So no gasoline, no maintenance. It's light, easy to use. It's self-propelled as well. But when it comes to storage, watch this. So they've thought of everything. You can pack it up and store it anywhere just about around your home.
Wow, those all look amazing. Okay, so let's say you've got your grass cut. How do you keep your yard looking nice?
So I would recommend a blower, so whether you have leaves or just yard debris, and blower technology has come a long way as well. So this is one that we have from Ryobi. We've got several different brands, and those also can run off of batteries like this. This is a battery I just had in my 18-volt drill. I just put it in the blower. 155 miles an hour it blows. So now I can clean up after I've just cut the grass.
So these battery-powered tools are getting really popular these days. Are they as solid as the gas-powered tools out there?
Yeah, so what's really neat is that the battery technology has evolved over the years to the point where now you're seeing the same sort of power and run times that you see in the gas-powered models. What you don't get is the heavier weight, and you don't have to worry about the gas or the maintenance. So so I'd say at this point, you can, whichever you want, you're going to get exactly the power that you need.
So how do you choose the right one?
So it can be difficult. Really, it has to do with more with sort of how you're going to use it. So with batteries, it's the voltage, and the higher the voltage, the more you're going to get out of the tool, and the more power and the runtime, and the larger the battery. So it's a little bit more weight. So if you're just going to use something a little bit, you go with a smaller weight. You're going to use a smaller lower voltage battery, and you can move up depending on how much runtime you need in those kind of circumstances. So for things like string trimmers, especially, those take a lot of power. But now the batteries can actually power a string trimmer, so you can do your edging and all your trimming at the same time you do everything else.
Wow, so you can use the same battery then on different power tools?
Yeah, and that's really the great part about the technology. A lot of the brands now have battery platforms that use the same battery over a multitude of tools. So example again, for the Ryobi, I can use the 18-volt battery in my blower. I can also use it in a hedge trimmer. I can use it in the string trimmer. So you can use it across pretty much the whole suite of tools from that brand.
Wow, that's great to know, really efficient. So what other items should we have for taking care of our yard? What do you think is essential?
So some of the other essentials, I think I mentioned the hedge trimmer, but a lot of people, still go with the old manual hedge trimmer. Again, with the battery power, you can use something like this from Ryobi, and there's all kinds of great features. If you look at this, so you can trim the top of your hedge, you can turn it sideways now and do up and down, and it's sort of ergonomic, so you don't have to worry about kind of bending around. And again, it's battery powered, it's lightweight, and you get the great runtime on this as well.
That's really nice. So any other information for our viewers?
Yeah, so one thing to consider right this time of year, I'd take a walk around the house and don't ignore things like your fences and decks that might need a little bit of maintenance once a year, just so you can get as much use as you can out of them. If you've got fences that need mending, so to speak, a lot of times you can replace them with some new vinyl. Again, maintenance free, that's really what it's about these days. And if you have a deck, you want to make sure you've got a nice coat of stain or paint to help protect that. Otherwise, check out homedepot.com. You can get information on all of these tools and much, much more. We just want to make it easier for you to get that yard work done so you can actually enjoy being in your yard more.
Great information. Thanks so much for being on the show, Dave, and stay tuned.
Thanks.
Special thanks to our guests for stopping by today and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. Be sure to join us again next week. I'm Stacey Hansen for the Real Estate News, making a positive impact and leading the real estate market.